breaking news are happening now.
Yes, that's right. Rob Cesternino here with some breaking news here in the Survivor world, especially. And here with me to talk about what we know at this hour about Survivor AU versus the world, our chief Survivor international correspondent, Shannon Guss. Shannon, how are you?
Rob, important news at this hour. I'm good. I've just gotten out of my catatonic state. It has been 10 hours, and I'm finally free of that. So that's good. But some big news in the Survivor world. You know, I said to the Survivor gods, you help me meet Cirie, and they are delivering. So I'm excited about what we have to talk about today.
Okay, well, Shannon, very excited to get the chance to talk with you because Sunday evening, word came out about 6 names that are going to be affiliated with something that we've been talking about for the last couple of months, a Survivor AU versus the world season, which was going to take place following the production of the next season of Australian Survivor. So what do we know? And how do we know it?
Yeah, so a lot of what you just said was technically not officially true until today. We had heard rumors it would be Australia maybe versus US, Australia versus the world. Today was confirmed by Channel 10 and Paramount at the Channel 10 upfronts where they talk about 2025, that there would be 2 seasons in 2025. Brains versus Brawn newbie season that they'd already announced, which now they've confirmed in the regular February slot next year. And a second season, they confirmed Australia versus World. Now, not the world, because it's not Brains versus the Brawn. It's not heroes versus the villains. It's Australia versus World, and they announced 6 names. This is all officially from Paramount and Channel 10. If you Google like Australian Survivor Paramount, I know that that's probably not the best way to kind of give this link, but it's there. There's an article. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Shannon, what's been filmed so far at this point?
This is speculation and rumor, and none of it's on the record, but I'm pretty sure that the Brains versus the Brawn season, that one's in the can. That one's done. And that there are some very high-level global
They did Brains versus Brawn again?
Yeah, they did the second Brains versus Brawn. Brainier and Brawnier.
I feel like they've done it like 6 times.
They did it one time. It was great. We also did Champions Contenders.
I think that they're all Brains versus Brawn.
Yeah, I mean it's a great theme. You guys did it a lot too, okay? You guys did it.
Not without beauties, okay? Need a few beauties,
everyone
maybe.
Here is so beautiful, you know. It goes without saying.
I guess so. All right.
Yeah.
So all right, and
yeah.
then,
So they did that. They filmed that.
Are these people that are associated? And you want to just rattle off the names real quick?
Where are they? Do you ask where they were filming?
Like, no, I don't care where. The Samoa. It's always Samoa.
No,
right?
no, not where. No, when are they? The celebrities, the big names, the Survivor players, I should say. They are, I think, currently in lockdown, about to play
en route.
Yeah. So like they probably don't have their phones. Maybe they do. Who knows? I think that they're like ready to go. And so, what are the names? I don't think they're well above rattling, Rob.
Yeah.
But everyone knows the name. Should we rattle?
Well, I think that I think if you're like listening to this and you don't know the names, I think you're screaming at the phone, tell me the names.
Then you should have done research. It's been everywhere. Have you been under a rock for real? Like,
Shannon, I think you maybe overestimate how online most people are. I think the people who are online are very online, and I think that the majority of people are not that online.
I envy them. That sounds like a wonderful life. Those people probably had a whole productive Monday in a way that I simply did not. Because I was told that it's announced Australia versus the world, and they put up the Australian Survivor social media put up a big social media post that said Australia versus world. It's going to get a lot to get used to. And then they put up 3 names. They put up King George, Shawnee, and Kirby. And then in the article, officially from Channel 10, we have the Americans, Tony, Parvati, I can't even say it, and Cirie. We got Tony, Bobby, and Cirie.
Okay. Now, we have 6 names. I think that it was reported, was it 14 or 16 people potentially were going to be a part of this?
Reported is a strong word. I've said everything that's been reported. The rumor is it's a shortened season.
Shortened season.
Weeks,
yeah.
About, like 15 days is the rumor.
All right, around 15 days, and then but around like also between 14 to 16 people. So then we're gonna
Oh, right. You
round
said
out,
days. Yeah, I think roughly around like.
and then it is rumored that we are rounding out the cast with other folks from
Okay.
international versions of the show.
Not rumored, official here in the article. I will read it. Should I just read what it says?
Please.
When it comes to Survivor, we Aussies reckon we're tough as nails. That's another show. We talk the talk, but now the time has come to walk the walk when our local Survivor legends take on players from Survivor franchises around the world. In the unsurprisingly titled Australia versus, here it's saying the world. Okay, now I'm just confused. Cheer on some of Australia's most celebrated players, including George, Shawnee, and Kirby, as they face off against superstar players from Survivor South Africa, Norway, New Zealand, and of course the US, which will be represented by Survivor legends.
I didn't even know about
Parvati,
Survivor Norway.
Tony, and Cirie. Look, neither did I, Rob, and I'm meant to be the chief international Survivor correspondent.
Right. So Australia versus the world, denotes to me, okay, this might be it for we may have 3 players from the US franchise, but are they rounding out the Australian team with more Australian Survivor players?
Yeah. There's gonna be a tribe of Australia and a tribe of world.
So
and they'll keep
should
it even
we
if they
assume that they are not maybe heavy hitters because that they would have been named in this press release? For instance, like, where's Ferris?
Ferris does not seem to be on based on him posting. And I think I chatted to him today. Now, someone could be catfishing me. And obviously the people online. Ferris seems to be like rooting for Kirby on Twitter. So Ferris, like, you can see people who are like, yay.
Who's running his account?
Yeah,
who's running his account?
Or are you
Is it
not
Carson?
on it? So yes, I hear that they've linked up. Carson as well seems to be online. So he seems to not be on it. So you can try and like pass out. Rumored names I'm hearing are pretty good. So for the Australian side, there should be a few more people. Hopefully, like, it's hard to get heavy hitters as much as George, Shawnee, and Kirby. And then for the international side, if we've got these 3, and then at least 1 Norway, 1 South Africa, and 1 New Zealand, and then 1 question mark. So I don't know.
Who is the question mark? You said because they said and beyond.
Well, it could be someone from the US.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that they said definitely Norway, South Africa, and New Zealand. So that's another 3. Yeah. And then there'd be a question mark, at least 1 question mark, maybe more.
Yeah. An interesting 3 that they write. I guess. Okay. So let me circle back to the US names.
Did they have to do Norway? I thought I covered global pretty well. Did they do the UK?
I thought so. I guess, could we, Sam, can we get a deep dive on how many seasons of Survivor Norway there have been?
Do I have to learn a whole new language now?
Yeah, maybe maybe you and Mike Bloom could get on a Survivor Norway rewatch if it's only been 1 season. But okay, so so we've got Tony, Parvati, Cirie. Okay, of course, Parvati and Cirie, a long storied history together. You would think that would be certainly be on good terms to work together.
You would, yeah.
Now,
wait, I have a joke about Parvati and Cirie before I stop hyperventilating. We're used to getting spiders in Australia, and this is the first one I've been happy about. The Black Widows.
Oh my God, nailed it. Okay. Let's talk about Tony then. Okay, Tony coming off of, I guess this is like the 3 seasons of Traitors alliance of season 1, season 2, season 3.
So well, they've been winning Emmys. Thank you. Thank you, Traitors, for giving us the your sloppy seconds. Like, we love it. We'll take it.
Shannon, other than I'm trying to think of any interaction these 3 have had that they've all.
Parvati and Tony were on a season together.
Well, so was Cirie and Tony.
Oh yeah, that took me a while.
But I don't think have they ever been on the beach together at any one point. You know,
Cirie and Tony. I mean, no, he was not on that. No,
they were never on. They've never been. There's no connective tissue. Like, I feel like that, you know. So Cirie
and then Parvati wasn't with Tony either.
Yeah, Cirie and Tony are both on Survivor Game Changers, but Tony is out.
Yeah, I completely blocked that out of my head.
But then Cirie goes further into the game. And then Tony's on the pre-jury trip. Then in Winners at War, Tony's in the game the whole time. Parvati's out early. She's on the edge of extinction. I believe she's a vote for Natalie. I don't know if there's any sort of
it's fine. They were such good friends. Like, it's fine.
Yeah, but I
think he was
just
fine
don't
with
know
the 11 votes that he got. You know?
Yeah, if there's any sort of like interactivity between those two Survivor women faces of Mount Rushmore, and then and with Tony.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there'd be bad blood. I just
I don't
think
think so. No,
they're
I'm just
not
trying to think if there's any
connected.
sort of like previous interactivity between them. I mean,
Yeah,
so
I
it'll
don't
be
think so.
interesting to watch for sure. But I think that they will be sort of thrown together in, like, you would imagine, if it's Survivor versus the World. In the
Well,
World tribe, they may not
well.
have the numbers.
Yeah, well, who's that question mark person? If it's another US person that could really make a difference to how the
I
numbers go,
don't
because
think,
if there's
again,
7 people,
if there was another US person, I think we would have heard the name.
what if the other US person is like random and kind of bad? Not even kind of bad. I just mean like how high of a caliber of player do you have to be in the realm of Cirie, Parvati, and Tony? Like what? Because it's not Sandra again. So that's it.
Yeah.
We did it. Like that's the Mount Rushmore. Like that's I mean Boston Rob, that could have been Boston Rob as well.
Yeah,
So it's not
I mean,
Boston
yeah,
Rob.
I think
They would have announced Boston
technically,
Rob.
I think that the canon Survivor Mount Rushmore is Rob, Parvati, Sandra, Tony. So I
I don't know if you
included.
should put yourself in there. I mean, I think
No,
maybe,
stop.
but like
I included I included Cirie in there, but I think that that's probably,
it's
you know, and your Mount Rushmore may vary, but I
that's
think
my
that
Mount Rushmore, not
that's your
Rob.
Mount
No
Rushmore.
offense.
Yeah,
I like Rob too. But for my
yeah.
Mount Rushmore, like I honestly
I think each
like,
of the 4 that I mentioned, I think each of them has a win and another finals appearance, and then which
but for
Cirie
me,
does.
but
Sure.
for the day that I've had, I honestly think like Cirie, Tony, Parv, can't even say it. And like
Why?
Sandra.
Who did you kick out of the Mount Rushmore?
No, I think Sandra.
So who's your Survivor Mount Rushmore?
Cirie, Tony, Parvati, and Sandra.
Cirie. So you kicked Boston Rob out of the Survivor Mount
I love
Rushmore.
Boston Rob. I think what he brings to the show is important. For my people, that is my personal opinion. I can't go much further. I gave
Yeah.
a top 5 when they were named on the traders. Cirie, Parvati, Tony, Sandra.
Cirie
And
could
if
be
they could just get
most
Jeremy,
beloved, but I think the Mount Rushmore has to be.
Rob.
I think it's pretty set.
Rob, I watched a whole season of Big Brother for Cirie, and now she's coming onto my show, on
Yeah.
my turf. Well, not
I
really
just think,
as well,
but I
guess,
think
but
you also have to be like
I'm
you
just
know,
saying, no,
yeah,
I'm
you
just for me. I'm just
yeah,
saying for
that's
me.
fine. That's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for me, it does not get better than this. It's a fever dream that shouldn't exist, but yet
Mhm.
it does exist. And it's like, what's going to take it from me? That's where I'm at. How are you at this hour?
Yeah, pretty good. You know who I feel bad for is
Me.
Johnny Fairplay. He put in a lot of work.
Maybe he's the
Going to
fourth one.
Australia, hanging out with George all this time, and for them to snub him, like that wasn't right.
Maybe he's also on it, but then they just didn't feel that he was worth announcing, which is insulting different.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that's easy to check if he's online or not.
Will someone come back to us? Look, I just
Yeah, I think
I'm
this
just
is it.
saying,
I'll be surprised if there's a 4th U.S. person.
let's bet on it. I actually don't know. Yeah,
What do
you're
you? I
probably
mean,
right.
do you feel strongly that
No,
there is?
I don't know. I could go either way. I don't think there's definitely not, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was. I mean, they've got Norway, South Africa, New
Okay,
Zealand,
well,
and
okay,
then maybe 2 from
All
one
right,
of those.
I've got the
places.
chief international Survivor correspondent here. Do you have any sort of inklings to who from Survivor New Zealand, which is only 2 seasons? I mean,
Yes.
is it possible? Is it possible that our great friend Lisa could be the New Zealand person?
I mean, I would love that. I would. I mean, for those who don't know, Lisa won Survivor wearing an RHAP shirt. So
When they
yes.
counted the votes, yes.
Yes, when they counted them, which we really enjoyed. I'd love to see Lisa. I don't know that Lisa would survive. Not in the game. I mean, I think she'd get out there with Parvati, Tony, and Cirie and just pass out, and then I don't know if they could resuscitate her. Like, she's a big fan, and I think
Sure.
that possibly that could be that for her. I mean, similarly,
I know
for
exactly
some other-
one Survivor New Zealand contestant.
Yeah, so hopefully that'd be great. Yeah.
Is there
I think-
any other like superstar of Survivor New Zealand that you know of?
I think from a character standpoint, you think someone like Adam, Matt was like the kind of, big player that Lisa,
Yes.
spoilers, but like took out. Lisa won. She's a huge fan, and I would really like to see Lisa as my.
Okay, what about from Survivor South Africa, a situation that
many.
you are certainly much closer to? Do you know of like who the like breakout personalities that might be in the mix? Because I feel like I mean, typically we would say like, okay, well, Survivor, we need some like, every season is brains versus brawn. But right now, in terms of, we've got Kirby. George is like, has certainly come a long way. But it's not necessarily like that. I'm looking at like, okay, well, this U.S. or world team is super outgunned right now. But you would think that we need some more.
Outmanned.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some muscle in the world.
Some firepower.
Team. If you want muscle, we can give you muscle. I mean, some Chappies is one of the biggest characters in Survivor South Africa who won like five immunity challenges. I think 7 challenges overall. Incredible challenge competitor. I think he would be a huge character who would kind of represent the franchise. Rob Bentley is like more mountain than man. He won the game and 5 immunity challenges, possibly even more challenges than that. Like demigod kind of human.
Yeah.
So I think from a challenge perspective, so many good options. My friend Dino is a winner of Survivor. Would love to see him. He as well would just be passed out right next to Lisa. It would be actually a really tragic way to start the game to see them both just go out that way. But if he were there, that would be incredible. And then, some other huge fans and amazing players who I know in South Africa, they're really big fans of Australian Survivor. Santini, I know she's a big fan of Australian Survivor. She's a phenomenal character. Marion, it would be awesome to see her out there. Palessa would be an incredible one as well. I mean, this is on the spot because there's just in South Africa, I mean, there's so many choices.
Okay.
So I'm excited. What a start. I don't even know it could go anywhere from here. I'm so excited.
Sure. Okay. Also, Sam has reported there are 17 seasons of Survivor Norway, which went from 1999 to 2022. So I'm not sure. Are they canceled?
Read out what he said it's called.
It's called Robinson Expedition.
That was pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
I'm so impressed. Yeah. 17 seasons. I don't think I could binge that in time. Even if that time, we don't know. It just said 2025. We don't know when the season is coming, but I don't want to binge 17 seasons of it in the next
Huge year
year
for Tony coming up in 2025.
And how lucky are we?
This is huge. Oh, my God.
Do you know what? If it is Lisa, it would be funny because I do remember doing the first Winners at War premiere podcast with her, and she was like, I don't really get the Tony thing. And I was like, I love Tony. And for 30 minutes, try to explain why Tony is like my ultimate character player ever. And hopefully she's turned around on that if she's on the beach with him and she's conscious.
No, it can't be starstruck. Maybe they heard that and they're like, okay, we need somebody to bring some of these people down to size.
Well, that's not me. I'm glad I'm not out there because I would be passed out next to Dino and Lisa.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So then, all right, we have 3 Australian names and maybe we go with we've leaked the 3 biggest Australian names to match the 3 different. So we have some symmetry of Australia versus the world. But you would imagine that we have, probably, 4 more Australian people that are going to be returning players. Are there any folks that you have on your short list of returnees that could be back for this?
Did we do a podcast on this? Yeah, we did a Patreon podcast. So there's a lot of people. I mean, Ferris isn't there. That's a little upsetting. But I think the big names are obviously always like Luke and David, Golden God.
But I kind of feel like that, and from there had been other reports that David is going to be a part of Deal or No Deal Island.
Yeah, I thought that ruled him out. Who else is on that though? Parvati.
Parvati, yeah.
If Parvati can play, then he can play. So now I feel like he's kind of back in. And that would be crazy because they'd be like, long time no see. It'd be like, I just saw you on Dondi last month.
But I do think that if you had somebody of David's caliber, that I think that they would make the press release. They would make the announcement if you had them. So I kind of feel like that we're looking at people, not to categorize people, but I think you have sort of like your top tier people that you put out in the press release, and then these might be in like a second tier of people that are sort of not necessarily headliners.
Or they wanted to leave something incredible, and it's like Boston Rob and like Jeremy and David, and like it's just every single, and it's just the best cast that's ever been assembled in like global reality television.
Sure. I mean, maybe you don't put everything in the trailer, but it sort
Yeah.
of defies marketing logic in terms of like we're gonna announce, our big names and then also not tell you other bigger names.
But like they could be like a year until this season. So
Sure.
like they've got to keep up the momentum. I mean, I just listened to you on a podcast saying that you thought like 10 days was a good preseason length.
Sure.
This could be like is this the preseason? Like this is a year. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's so many good people. There's so
Yeah.
many great. I mean, they could get most of Titans v Rebels back and like that would be a great cast.
Yeah.
So there's a lot
I
of
just think
options.
that you would announce it in this way because you were trying to, amp up the hype about this and get people, really excited about the franchise. And so
I mean, they're excited. People are
to
excited.
hold hype-worthy things back seems like counterintuitive. But okay, then the last thing I want to bring up is, okay, so we have Tony, we have Cirie, we have Parvati here in Australian Survivor versus the World. Do you feel like that this then takes them officially out of the running for Survivor 50 implications?
Well, firstly, we did a draft.
Mm-hmm.
The rules were 3 points for 50, 2 points for Australia, 1 point for another show. Parvati netting me 3 points already. 2 points for Australia, 1 point for another show. If she gets on 50, that would be an incredible pick.
By the way, that draft
50
is up
points for
in our patron feed if
Spoiler for
anybody
that,
wants
just a
to listen to
tease.
that. Yes.
That's the marketing, but I won't give it all. Marketing. So I don't think so, because I think if they're going with a legend season, I think there are some people who are like above it. It's like, don't go do Australia. It's like, I'm Tony. If you want me, you'll call. Like, I think that if they want Tony, if it's like a legend season, like all three of those people would have to get a call if that's the way they're going with it. And the fact that they played Australian Survivor would have to be like, well, we didn't love it, but you've kind of earned some leniency by being like three of the biggest names in the global franchise. So I can't believe it.
Yeah.
I'm so
Okay.
excited.
It's very exciting. All right. We still have a long ways to go. That at the earliest, when do you think that we could be seeing this season of TV?
I don't know. I don't think they know. I thought maybe they'd swap it with Brains v Brawn, like, because look at the hype. You'd think they do it soon. But they even said that Brains v Brawn will be in February. Hopefully that means it's a great season. They're like, yeah, let's get that out. I would think like they've sometimes done Australian Survivor in like the July slot. I've heard some shows are kind of falling away even later in the year, that it could replace like even more like now. Waiting on this for a year? It's kind of torture, kind of be horrible. But yeah, I mean, there might be some like American viewers now who don't know Australian Survivor. So like the Australian three are like Titans. It was like King George. Shawnee's going to be a 4-time player. Where like Australian Survivor hasn't been going on that long. And for the Australian watchers who don't know the US, like as you can tell by my hysteria, 3, as we've said. So it's a big. For anyone who doesn't know any of these names, like they knocked it out of the park.
Shannon, is it crazy to think that there could be people from this newest season that end up playing and then doing the back-to-back?
I thought about that actually. I was like, well, those people are kind of getting screwed if they're out of it. Like, imagine if it had been like a Ferris and a Kirby, and we don't get Kirby just because the audience haven't responded to her yet, or maybe because it's actually I don't think it's possible. Like, there was a very small break, I think. That would be very hard to come in and like the back-to-back like Russell slot where people don't know who you are with players like this. I doubt that is happening.
Yeah, but maybe somebody who's like sort of like a pre-merge, like real standout, goes like 20 days and then has like 30 days to recover.
Like another 45 days. No, I don't think so. I think you'd have to get to the end. You'd have to either win or be like a Kirby level wish you won, got to the final week but didn't. Someone wants to go out there again. I mean, it's not that much longer. It's a couple more weeks, 60, 70 days. Are you excited, Rob? Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped up. I mean, I was sort of like on the fence. I was feeling like that maybe this wasn't going to happen.
Why? I don't know that you should have felt like that.
Yeah, I just felt like that we heard about it, and then it seemed like I thought they were maybe having problems attracting the people that they wanted, and I had heard like some rumors about like maybe they're trying, they can't really get people, and then so Tony is the name that I think we had heard Parvati and Cirie's names loosely associated with this. But Tony is the sort of like out of left field name on this.
Yeah, I had thought, I knew it was always going to happen, but then I thought once it went from being in the US, I thought maybe like, oh, it's now that it's versus the world, maybe they'll literally do one person from each country. Like we'll get France in there. The UK had a season. Like maybe we'll literally have like one representative, and so one from the US. But to get 3 of this level, I didn't even know like, yeah, what names they would get. I should say as well for the Australian, there's so many. Like I'm like, you know, but would they announce like a Haley if they're announcing George? Probably Simon's another great name. That's just it's an embarrassment of riches, Rob.
Embarrassment of riches. We're
really
eating.
Excited,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Shannon, of course, has some great podcasts up right now over in our International Survivor
Very
feed.
timeiest, actually.
Very timey. So tell us about what you have working that you're working on.
Yeah, I did a off-season global podcast because I was like, maybe we should get excited about Global Survivor again, and then they immediately announced it. So like that was right. We did the defining moments of the international season. So if you want to hear about some of the names mentioned many times, yeah, you can check that out. That was with Mike Bloom and Peridium, so that was fun. And I also feel like my 47 coverage is going to be like people would be very upset because every name that I announce, it's like, oh, that person's not on the cast, right? Because they're doing the podcast, like my guest.
Okay.
Like
got
so
it.
for this week, Caroline Cordes is my guest, so she's not on the cast. But I'm excited that she's my guest. So I'm doing 47 coverage. The draft is tomorrow.
It's actually tonight for us, Shannon.
Oh, okay. Well, we're in Australia now. You're just world.
For me, in the real time, it's in about 9 to 10 hours.
Yeah, it's in the same amount of time for me as you. Time still works the same, but I'm going to go to sleep. But you're just world now, and we're Australia. I'm so excited. Also, can I say one more thing? A lot of my talking was like, oh, it's going to be hard for them to cast Australian women because they've all recently given birth. Shawnee just, bounced right back. Shawnee has always been mother, and she literally is now a mother. And she's going out there. And Shawnee 4 times since 2018. That's impressive.
Wow. Impressive.
So,
okay.
So much going on. I apologize for my high level of enthusiasm in this podcast. Yeah. Okay.
What do you think? You want people to, like, listen to you on a podcast to be like, oh, it's going to be stupid?
Some people want that. It's not going to be. It might
There's
be.
No
I don't
market
know.
for that. Yeah.
Guys. It's exciting.
It's exciting. Okay.
I might get to talk to Cirie. It's fine.
All right. Well, you can hear Shannon and myself and the drafters as we get together to draft Survivor 47. Is your draft board ready, Shannon?
It's not. I'm currently working on it. I'm on my last interview with you and Mike and going through the bios, making a bit of a, you know what? I don't know. I don't know why I do the same thing every time. Like I should change, but I'm not. So Rob, you're looking so lovely today, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Are you just sucking up because I have the ability to make the draft order?
Whatever you want to do, you do you. I'm just saying you look nice. Just want to pay a compliment. Did you get a haircut? You got a haircut. You did. You did actually get a haircut. You did get a haircut.
Okay. All right.
Did you?
All right. Let me make a note. Okay. All right.
Okay.
We should wrap this up, but of course, make sure you're locked in. I don't want to see you miss anything when our Survivor coverage kicks off officially on Wednesday night after the episode. You can make sure you get everything RHAP when you go to robbinswebsite.com/subscribe. I just want to make sure that you are getting everything you deserve as a Survivor fan. robbinswebsite.com/subscribe. Thank you so much for joining us. And if there's any other breaking news that's happening, we'll be there to cover it here on RHAP. Thank you so much. Take care. Have a good one. Bye.